Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies video. We got the brand new Chaos story trailer for Black Ops 4 Zombies, in which features both footage from Voyage of Despair, which is going to be the map set on the Titanic, and also featuring 9, which is going to be within a Colosseum, possibly in Rome, although we're not entirely sure on the exact location. Now this trailer is a gameplay trailer and a cinematic trailer, so it features some slight little tidbits of gameplay in here with a ton of cinematic shots. So we're going to be doing a bit of a gameplay trailer breakdown within today's video, so we're going to break down as much as we possibly can. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like down below, as well as subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on a future video on the channel, and don't forget to turn notifications on to ensure furthermore that you never miss an upload. And also I have started a brand new Fortnite channel, which I will leave a link to down in this video's description. I will still be doing the regular zombies content just as much as I regularly do here on the channel, but that's just even more content if you want to go ahead and check it out. I'm going to be very busy covering both channels, so make sure to go ahead and check out that channel in the description. Alright, so this trailer did release yesterday, and I'm only just doing a breakdown today because there was just tons of news to cover. But yeah, I'm finally getting around to doing this gameplay breakdown, and I do also plan to be doing a video in which I go over all of the weapons seen within this trailer, since I'm not going to cover them all within this video. Alright, so if you haven't already seen the trailer, I will leave a link to it down in this video's description. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Now, before I get into the trailer itself, we do have a description that has been provided with this trailer. So it says Scarlett Rhodes, which is the female character within our new crew, which is obviously the Chaos storyline, not the Ether storyline. This storyline is distinct from the original, is out to solve her eccentric father's mysterious disappearance. With the help of 3 loyal outcasts, she'll fight waves of the undead and uncover a prized relic wielding an extraordinary power that threatens all of humanity. So this is the relic that we see both within 9 as well as Voyage of Despair. On Voyage of Despair, our characters are actually they're on a heist and they're trying to rescue this artifact, but then obviously one of the characters who is part of this ancient order manages to sabotage that, and he activates this artifact, which is all to do with these alchemical processes, which spawns in the zombies. It also creates the mystery box as well as the perk machines, etc. within this new storyline. Starting off the trailer, we get to see a shot of 9 showing tigers. So these are going to be replacing the Hellhound rounds, the boss rounds within N9. Now this is really cool because it definitely fits the theme of 9. You can see there is also a chain on his leg, so he's clearly being kept within the Colosseum, chained up within the quarters, and he's being unleashed into the crowd. So yeah, definitely an interesting lore. And we can see one of our characters is actually down as we see this shot, and we could possibly be seeing a new revive animation for Black Ops 4 Zombies, which could be similar to the Fortnite animation when you apply your med kits. So you could wrap your arms around instead of just holding your hands in front of your characters like within Black Ops 3 Zombies. So then one of these tigers actually swipes at one of our characters, and it seems like these tigers are going to deal a lot of damage. They look very strong, very bulky, so they could be very similar to the Hellhounds, but I feel like they're going to take more bullets, so they're going to be harder to kill than the Hellhounds and deal more damage. They definitely look a lot more menacing than the Hellhounds. Then we get to see the Black Ops 4 Zombies logo, then it transitions into Voyage of Despair, and we get a very good shot of the top floor of the Titanic. So obviously this map, since it's being set on the Titanic, and we see at the end of the intro cutscene that we got for Voyage of Despair where it's about to crash into the iceberg, we know that probably as we're continuing with the Easter egg or possibly progressing within the rounds, the ship is actually going to be sinking, since obviously we crash into the iceberg at the end of the intro cutscene. So that's definitely going to play a big part for how this map is going to play out. But we believe that this area could actually be the spawn of the map. So Quantum Z has actually, worked this out. He's done a very good interpretation of what can be seen here. So you can see on screen some potential areas that could be getting shown here. So he believes that this could possibly be a marksman rifle right here. He believes this could be a possible 3-round burst pistol, which could be similar to the RK5 or the B23R from Black Ops 2 Zombies. That could be within the spawn section. Then he believes there's some window barriers and possibly a 750 point door. And then there seems to be some sort of machine in the bottom right that could possibly be a new perk machine, which could be quick revive. Now, if you are unaware, perks are going to be different within this mode, so they're going to be perk vapors. So it's similar to what we saw within the 9 intro cutscene. We're going to absorb this vapor, which is to do with this alchemical process, which are going to be the new perks instead of perk machines. But yeah, this might not be the spawn room, and Quantum could be wrong on this this one, but I definitely do agree that this definitely would make for a, a good spawn room. It seems very wide open. It would probably be one of the most wide open spawn rooms we've ever had. Not only is it wide open, but it would make sense to start at the, the front of the boat, at the top floor, and make our way down, because if you're unaware, the Titanic actually has over 20 floors. It's a very big ship, and although Trek are not going to be scaling it to the exact size of the Titanic, there's at least going to be 4 floors or so, which means there's going to be a lot of playable room. But anyways, we get our first shot of wall buys within this, and we can see that they are now circles. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on when we get a better shot of the war weapons, but moving further along in the trailer, we can see that there is a mystery box location in the back, so we can see the blue light coming up from the mystery box. I was wondering whether they would change the mystery box light now that it's a new storyline separate from the Ether storyline, but no, the light is the same for this map, so it's pretty much identical to what we saw within Black Ops 3 Zombies. Moving further along, we just see a shot of the captain's area within the ship, where obviously the wheel is. Weirdly enough, no one is even steering the ship. This is probably a scene after the zombie outbreak has happened, because obviously, the RMS Titanic, the reason why it's crashed is due to the zombie outbreak, and that's why I'm guessing it crashes into the iceberg, as it's a bit of a twist on the actuality of why the Titanic crashed. So moving further along, we get to see a shot of a war weapon here. We can't really see exactly what that is, and then we get to see some shots of some paintings. Not really too much can be seen here. Then the zombies start breaking out, and we see Scarlett just shooting these zombies down with a gun in her hand, a pistol. As I said, I will be breaking down all the weapons that can be seen within this within a separate video. Then we see some sort of toy on the ground, some sort of workshop toy. I'm not sure if that's going to play any relevance. It could be a part for a buildable. It just seems so weird why it's the main center thing within this shot. There has to be an importance to it. Now then we get to see some of these gods. So if you're unaware, these we believe are going to be the new perk machines within this new storyline. So they're now going to be these statues of these ancient gods. And some YouTubers, some zombie YouTubers have actually been sent out some of these gods. So this god in particular that we see here at the start is Danu. And Smart Guy also received an image of Ra, which is the god of sun, the Egyptian sun god. So there's going to be gods from Norse mythology, Greek mythology, ancient Egyptian mythology. They're definitely taking a lot of inspiration from tons of different eras and different mythologies here. But yeah, they all have these alchemical symbols on the base of them. So yeah, I wonder how these perks are going to work, because we're actually going to be able to set which perks we spawn in with on the game. So we can choose which perks will be on the map, which perks won't be. So it's unlike anything we've ever seen from zombies before. Then we get to see a shot of one of these characters that is part of the Ancient Order, that is protecting this artifact that the characters are trying to steal. And then he activates the artifact, which obviously causes the black magic to go around, and what spawns in, as I was saying, the war weapons, the mystery box, the perks, etc, etc, and it's all because of alchemy. And then we see the captain gets obviously turned into a zombie too. This is all shots from the intro cutscene, so yeah, there's not really much point in breaking this down. Then we get to see a shot of Scarlett running with a weapon here. Once again, I will be breaking down every single weapon that we see within this trailer within a separate video. Then we just get to see more shots from the original intro cutscene. Now we get to see a shot of what's happened to the steering wheel of the boat. So it seems like the roofing has been completely taken off. Now I wonder if this happens as soon as you spawn in on the map, or whether this happens as you progress within the Easter egg, or possibly as the rounds progress, since the ship is obviously going to be sinking, getting more destroyed, and possibly the roof could have been blown off. But you can see that there seems to be these weird pods that are all to do with this black magic, and they're all over the place. And I think these pods are probably going to work similar to the Shadows of Evil pods. You'll probably be able to get different things from them, different loot, possibly similar to the Zetsubo Nishima plan system too. But yeah, that definitely intrigues me. Definitely very, very interesting. The lore for this map is going to be very interesting, since there's a lot of mythology and stuff that goes into it. So then we get to see a shot of another one of these new perk vapor statues, which are of these gods. I believe this one is Odin, but I could be completely wrong on that one. So these perks actually look very, very cool, because it's like the perks are almost alive in a way. So I don't know why we're going to be getting perks via these gods. I don't know why these statues are here. We'll probably find out as we find out more storyline information. But anyways, we then get to see a shot of the new mystery box, which looks very, very cool. And Scarlett says that the Abyss gave her a gun. So I presume the mystery box is going to once again, like the old storyline, be taking weapons from all sorts of time eras, and it's coming from the Abyss. So there's definitely a lot of dark mythology surrounding this. Then we get to see some guns within the box. Specifically, we get to see the Swordfish, which is a new SMG within Black Ops 4. Then we get to see a shot of a brand new gun that I don't believe we have ever seen before within within Black Ops 4, since obviously Black Ops 4 Zombies is going to be taking some weapons from multiplayer and Blackout, but it won't be taking all of the weapons. So we have yet to see this weapon revealed within multiplayer. So this is a brand new weapon that is making its debut within this trailer here. Now, as it progresses, we get to see our very first specialist weapon that is going to be a sword. Now, this sword looks very, very cool. Now, if you're unaware, they're changing the way that specialists work within zombies now. So before, for example, in Shadows of Evil, you would have to do a bit of a quest to go ahead and get yourself the sword, and then there would be a separate quest to upgrade the sword, which was the specialist. And obviously the specialist, you have to charge up with zombie kills and stuff like that over time and getting points that charges up your specialist, and you can only then use it for a short duration before having to recharge it again. Well, the way specialists are now going to work within Black Ops 4 is you're going to be able to choose different specialists. So for example, there's going to be a sword, there's going to be a staff, there's going to be a harpoon and a disc, and there's also going to be a hammer. Specifically, the sword is going to be tied to Shaw, so each of the specialists is tied to a specific character. However, each of the characters can choose any specialist, so you choose which specialist you have within the menu before you spawn onto the map, instead of having to actually get it on the map. And then what you do is there will be a quest on the map to actually upgrade those specialists to make them even better. But yeah, this sword looks very, very cool, and there is also some sort of harpoon gun or some sort of blunderbuss type weapon. I can't really tell exactly what it is, but it absolutely tears apart these zombies. But anyways, then we get to see this sword in action, and you can see that it splits in half and then sort of coils back together as you swipe through the zombies. It does this sort of acid green attack. It just completely decimates. So then we get to see that the Titanic is obviously getting destroyed, the glass is all smashing and everything like that, because what I believe is happening here is obviously, as he was saying, the boat is obviously crashing into the iceberg. So I think as you progress through the rounds, possibly the water may start rising, you know, so some levels which were previously accessible may now be flooded with water, and you might have to swim underneath them, and obviously all of the glass is breaking and the ship is just getting destroyed because of this. Now we can also see some sort of weird orange glow going through the levels as the glass is breaking. So I'm not sure what this is, to be honest. Is it to do with the original artifact that obviously turns all of the people into zombies on the ship? I don't think so. So we're going to have to wait and see what this actually is. But then we get to see a shot of the next level, which we see Shaw with these staffs. So this is going to be another one of these specialists that is available on this map. As we were saying, each of the characters can choose which specialist you spawn in with, and this staff is going to be linked to Scarlett's character. Now it is worth noting that these specialists are going to be the same on both 9 as well as Voyage of Despair, so this is going to be something that you'll be able to pick which specialist you use on any map. They're going to carry through, and there's going to be different specialists for the old Ether storyline with Blood of the Dead. But you can see that the staff sort of works like a laser. It's very, very cool actually. It's different to the staffs that we had within Origins. But yeah, it's like this big fire beam. Then we get to see a shot of the next level, which is one of the lower down levels, and it's been completely flooded because of the fact that it's obviously crashed into the iceberg here. And we are able to go underwater and have underwater zombies combat, which I'm very excited for because we haven't seen this since Zetsubo no Shima, so I'm glad that underwater zombies combat is returning. But there's not really too much to be seen within this shot, to be honest. I'm guessing maybe some Easter egg steps will be turning some valves underwater or something like that. You know, the usual generic kind of stuff. So as the trailer goes ahead and progresses, we get to see a Brecci, so that gun is actually returning from Black Ops 3 zombies. So a lot of people are actually annoyed for this because they didn't like it within multiplayer because it was quite OP, but we don't even know if it's returning within multiplayer. It could just be for zombies. It's literally identical to how it worked within zombies, and it was a great weapon within Black Ops 3 zombies, so you know, I'm actually kind of glad that it is returning. So I'm guessing for weapons wise, we're going to see guns from Black Ops 3 as well as Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1, you know, just a big range of weapons, past weapons too. So I won't be surprised if we see the PPSH and stuff like that. Then we get to see a Molotov. So this could potentially be a weapon that we have to acquire on the map, or we might actually be able to choose which you know, grenades we spawn in with, because Jason was saying that now we're going to actually be able to choose which starting weapon we have, which grenade we have. So I think this will probably be one of the grenades that we can actually choose. Now we do also see a very good shot here of one of the war weapons on the right. So we can see that now the war weapons are going through this sort of blue portal type thing. It almost looks like a universe, and some people have noticed this on Twitter that it looks very, very similar to the blueprints that we had on the Giant, which were from Dr. Monty, which showed the KM44. So could this link back to the old storyline? Could Dr. Monty be in control of this universe as well as the Ether storyline too, and maybe both of the storylines will collide at some point? I'm not really sure. We'll just have to wait and see. Then the next shot, we see a brand new boss zombie within this map. Now this boss is going to be on 9 as well that we did see within the intro cutscene for that map, so it's going to be available on both maps. It's some sort of arachnid spider creature, and we see what the staff in action here. So this is going to be another ability of the staff. We're going to be able to place it on the ground, and as zombies come in it, they will just get damaged. And I think the zombies actually get attracted to the staff too, so it might work like a monkey bomb. So maybe this is going to be the upgraded version of the staff. It might get this extra ability. Now we do also see that there is some sort of power up on the ground. There's something that's glowing blue. We can't tell what power up it is. I think it's a double points, but I could be wrong on that one. Obviously now the power ups are going to have a different mythology with the new storyline and everything like that, so it's going to be different. So then it transitions over to 9. Now we are not able to teleport through both of the maps via the staff. It's just that the staff is going to be available on both of the maps too. Now we do see all these weird triangle symbols throughout the 9 trailer, so I think that's going to be interesting to pay attention to. We do see within the background the gold eagle. There's tons of mythology surrounding that, but yeah, there's not really too much to be seen. We just see our characters all wielding the weapons. Once again, I will be doing a separate video breaking down all of the weapons within this trailer, so I'm not going to be mentioning all of them. But then we see the crowd. Now the crowd are going to work very interesting within this Colosseum. So how they're going to work is they will actually react to how our characters perform in game. So for example, if we're taking out a load of zombies, the crowd will cheer us on, or if we're getting damaged, they'll probably start booing and stuff like that. That's probably what is going to happen. But yeah, we do see that the trench gun is returning. So we see the trench gun in his hand. So once again, another weapon to be very aware of. Once again, there's going to be past weapons returning, future weapons, as well as, you know, modern time weapons. So there's going to be a good range of weapons. But in the background, we see a ton of these gods. There's tons of statues of these gods in the background. And honestly, this is going to look so cool. I love the atmosphere of 9. As I said, we don't know the specific time era for this map just yet, but all we know is it's going to be some sort of ancient map, probably in around 2000 BC, possibly within a Roman Colosseum, although it could be in Greece, it could be in Morocco for all we know. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, the zombie skins look very cool, and then we get to see another one of these specialist weapons in action, which is going to be this hammer here. So a good range of specialists that are going to be available. Then we get to see the zombie get taken out by this guy's shield. So I think these melee weapons are going to be usable. I'm hoping they are usable, and I think they will be usable. I don't think this is just for cinematic purposes. I think all these melee weapons that we have seen within this trailer are going to be usable, because there's been a lot shown within this. But then we see the tigers coming in, and as I said, they come out on these chains, and then they, I guess, break free from the chains somehow, and they seem like they're going to be a very dangerous threat. But yeah, we see more war weapons in the background. As I said, they look pretty much the same as they do within Voyage of Despair. Then we get to see another one of these specialist weapons in action, and this specialist is going to be a harpoon and a disc. So you simply throw the harpoon and you're able to get it back to you. It sort of works like a boomerang. But yeah, as the trailer continues, we get to see another new boss on 9. So there's going to be 2 bosses on this map, and this seems to be some sort of big gladiator with an axe. We see all this blue substance illuminating from him. I'm not sure if that's coming from the boss or whether it's coming from something else, but nevertheless, it looks really cool. But yeah, this looks like it's going to be a very tough boss, and it can actually throw its axe at you like a boomerang once again. And we can notice within this room, it looks very cool, because we've got these 4 statues surrounding it with some sort of portal within the center. It could possibly not be a portal, but it looks like a portal. It could be a pack-a-punch maybe, because we don't know what the pack-a-punch looks like within this new storyline, or it could be something else. But we also have to bear in mind that on the base of this, there is a big cylinder, and once again, it's got all these alchemical symbols on. There's also some on the back, so hopefully if anyone translates them, we'll be able to find stuff out from that. But yeah, then we get to see this new LMG in action. I'm not sure what LMG this actually is, but as I was saying, I am going to be doing a full breakdown within the future, going over every single weapon within this trailer. So if you spot any weapons within this trailer, let me know in the comment section down below. That'll definitely help out for when I make that video, because I'm going to go frame by frame and find every single weapon that we know so far for Black Ops 4 Zombies. And then at the end, it concludes saying Voyage of Despair and 9, which is obviously the Chaos storyline. So both of these maps are going to be linked. But yeah, this map looks very cool. So if I have missed anything within this trailer, let me know in the comment section down below. I have probably missed some things, but yeah, this is everything I have been able to spot within the Voyage of Despair trailer. Also bear in mind that when this portal is here on the base, there is some sort of blue orb above it that is being held up. So I'm not sure what that is, but we'll just have to wait and see. This is definitely going to be the main focal area of the map, since obviously it's going to be a big Colosseum, but there's going to be an underground area. We're going to be able to go off into the stadium too, I believe, on some sections of the map. But this looks like it's going to be the main central area of the map. It's going to be like the hub, and you can see a lot of these symbols and mythology just scattered around. I feel like it could work like the Eisendrache, where we might be able to get anti-gravity within this room, because we can see circle symbols on the walls of this that look similar to the circle circles that we see within the Eisendrach pyramid room. So we might be able to activate anti-gravity within this room too, because it looks very similar to the anti-grav room, and possibly that blue orb and this portal could be what activates that anti-gravity. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I've been able to spot within this trailer. Let me know if I've missed anything in the comment section down below, and I could make some follow-up videos. Hopefully this breakdown has been decent for you guys. Once again, if you've spotted any weapons within this trailer that are worth noting, then make sure to let me know. So that'll just help when I'm making that video about all of the weapons within this trailer. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Black Ops 4 Zombies news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.